Welcome to Accelerate My Practice. So glad you could join me here today. Today I want to talk about intraoral cameras, the power, the benefit, why in the world you'd want to have them. And the reason why I want to talk about intraoral cameras is because I have the president of Digital Doc here. We brought him in via teleportation. He's not really here. Totally kidding. He's here. This is Brett Wilson. Thanks for being here, Brett.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So we want to chat a little bit about the benefit of the camera, what it can do for your practice, and use Brett's experience of 25 years being in the intraoral camera business, his family's business, and how they see this transformation take place in a practice. So tell us a little bit, first off, tell us a little bit about the history of the company. You know, what makes you guys amazing and different, and how did you get amazing and different?
Absolutely. So with 25 years of intraoral cameras total, our family has had this business for 17 years. Made in the USA, everything out of Northern California, handmade, sold, supported. It's been amazing to see the transformation of intraoral cameras over the years. What we know is that the impact of intraoral cameras in dental offices have not changed. It is not. They're still as powerful today as they have always been. What makes us different? Image quality, ease of use, and then the system. It's the system behind it. It's the number of images taken is directly related to your increase in production. We've developed a training program called 12 and 2. It's 12 images in 2 minutes. It's with that system that allows you to get the volume of photos necessary to really drive the case acceptance. We're living in an HD world today. HD world, and our patients that come into the practice, they see and expect to see HD images. That's what we're delivering. Is there a difference? Can we tell a difference? Does it matter? Absolutely.
You know, before we jump into some examples of images, I want to hit a few key things there that you said. One is ease of use. The reason why, because a lot of times when we start talking about in our business, using an intraoral camera, especially with a new client, they're like, I don't have time, I can't get it done, there's not enough time in the appointment. And ease of use is the key, because I'm sure as people are listening, you say 12 and 2, they're like, there's no way I can take 12 images in 2 minutes.
Sure.
And the answer is absolutely if you have a camera that's easy to use. Now, if you're having to do one of these and then reach over and no, then you can't. It'd be too cumbersome or you'd have to get someone to help you. But if you can run a camera with one hand very easily to where you can go snap, 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 now all of a sudden ease of use becomes an issue. And anyone who's been around us very long knows that the key to getting things done is to make it easy and implementable. If it's not easy and implementable, it doesn't work. So 12 and 2 is a great idea because if I can show someone how to go through and go snap, 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 snap in 2 minutes and shoot a full mouth series of intraoral camera pictures, and it's just as important as the digital x-rays, and I can shoot those in the same amount of time. Now all of a sudden in 4 minutes I have so much information that will allow you guys diagnostically to know what's going on. It's incredible. So 12 and 2 is a great thing. Ease of use is very important. Any other things relative to those topics you want to address?
Well, let's just talk about consumer behavior. So consumer behavior in the dental industry, it's very a logical approach. It's very logical how we treatment plan patients, how we go through exactly what it is that they need, diagnostically from our x-rays. But do patients or consumers in general buy off of just logic alone?
No. You know, my favorite example of that is tattoos. You know, tell me a person who has a tattoo that made a logical decision to do it. You know, the story I always use, I have a very close friend of mine, Becca, who lost her third child, sadly, right upon birth. And she went and got a tattoo for David on her forearm, saying blessed, to remember him by. Was that a logical decision that she did? Absolutely not. Is it a beautiful decision that she made? Absolutely. So the point and the moral of the story is that people make emotional decisions, then they justify them with logic. This is the benefit of a camera. We can start to talk about what emotional benefit you're going to get from this dentistry, and now we can justify it by putting a picture up of a great big cracked tooth. You know, Sam, I don't know if you have one handy enough, if you could throw it up pretty please. Because if all of a sudden I'm sitting here talking about the aesthetics in your mouth, and I see this great big silver filling like this, and this huge crack that's running right off the side there, holy cow, I can justify why as a patient I should accept this dentistry. And if you look at the quality of that image, that's an impeccable image. And as Brett was saying earlier, we're in an HD world. If you're trying to sell a $20,000 or $30,000 case and you got fuzzy pictures, you're going to get fuzzy results. And fuzzy results are not $20,000 and $30,000 cases. It's not you living this life of prosperity. Fuzzy results are something completely different. So we got to have great images like this for patients to truly understand and see how important this dentistry is. So we give them the ability to justify this decision logically.
Sure, see more, do more. The more we can see, the more we're going to do. And with the emotionally backed photos, we can not only take the intraoral images, and you can see the HD photos, but the extraoral photos. So with the 12 and 2, we start out with a full face. A full face photo, then we go right into a full smile, upper and lower arch. Patients see things in the practice on their routine 6-month recalls that they may not have seen just 6 months prior. And what they may not be able to see when they're looking in the mirror, but wow, when it's blown up right in front of them, they're seeing things that they're not able to see otherwise. So for a new patient exam, we hear a lot that, hey, a full series is taken with a new patient exam with, let's say, an SLR. That's great. Those are great to have. Reviewing those cases, and in this case, when we teach the 12 and 2, patients see that every 6 months. So things, different conversations, things that are happening in their life, things happen and the conversation really begins to develop as we follow that same protocol with each patient.
You know, I love looking at this image right here and asking a patient, do they like those dark teeth? You know, is there anything clinically wrong with those? I don't have any idea. Man, you look at that one on the lower left, holy cow, yeah, probably. But for the most part, are those bad clinical restorations? I have no idea. But with this person who has the head of like the Johnson & Johnson person in the toothbrush commercials, who opens up their mouth 180 degrees like a snake, you know, you can see these restorations. I mean, this isn't shot in a mirror. If it was, we'd see something different. This is shot right outside a patient's mouth. So when this person laughs, all of those restorations are showing. One of the questions I love to teach people to ask is rate your smile on a scale of 1 to 10. If 10 is the perfect, most amazing Julia Roberts smile, and 1 is you can't eat corn on the cob, how would you rate your smile? And this person's probably going to say 3 or 4. Now, their teeth look amazing with the exception of 3 restorations. Perfectly straight teeth, probably has some great occlusion, but they got 3 heinous, ugly-looking black teeth. Heinous keyword. So it's interesting to see how if we can illustrate this with them, and then if they say a 3 or 4 or 5, whatever the number is they say, follow-up question, what would make it a 10? And the odds are, in this case, they're going to say, man, can you fix those 3 teeth? Absolutely, I can. Then we come down on it with that super close shot, which is probably this same patient, and we see this crack, and we go, hey, you know what's really awesome about this? Not only are we going to do this and make your teeth beautiful, but we can actually justify this thing because this thing is cracked. Look at this massive crack right here. It is just a matter of time before this entire cusp just goes and falls off like a cliff, which is not what you want to have because then it gets really expensive, more justification. So just having these images and giving the person the ability the patient the ability to see more and do more will help you out a ton.
Exactly. And for the staff that's taking the photos, when you can capture a crystal clear photo and it's easy to capture, they're automatically more motivated to capture those photos. And you may notice in that arch image, with it being just an intraoral camera, if you will, they can take the extraoral photos. You can do that with the entire Invisalign series, Clear Correct, and you name it. Very quickly, very easily, one person, no mirrors. Taking the entire series and quickly saying, Invisalign loves us. They love having that conversation of how quick and how fast and how easy with that kind of quality can we do to save time, be more efficient.
You know, it's absolutely about efficiency because the picture's worth 1,000 words. We've all heard that adage before. How they don't have that as a tagline, I'm not entirely sure. If you use it now, you have to pay me a royalty. But it's interesting to see because now if the patient can see this, we could either spend 10 minutes explaining the 1,000 words to them or we can just show it to them and go, man, what do you think we should do about that? And make a funny face, like, that looks kind of funny. What should we do? And you know what they're going to say? I don't like that. Odds are they're going to say they don't like that. You know, the same is true in hygiene. I mean, look at this before after from a perio patient. I mean, here's a great lingual bridge. It's awesome. If you got periodontally involved teeth, as this person does, this lingual bridge will hold these teeth in place. And then all of a sudden we remove them and we take a picture so the patient can see the before after and go, holy cow. And the patient's now going to start feeling that. You scale that to the midline, walk away, go, man, I got to go stretch. This is a lot of work getting this stuff off. The minute you walk away, give them 30 seconds, their tongue's going to go crazy on that. You're going to walk back in and they're going to go, man, what'd you do to my teeth? And you're going to look at them and go, what I do? Look at this, man. I'm busting my butt to get this off for you. I need a jackhammer for this mess. How long has it been since you've been in to see a dental office? My Lord. And I'm being dramatic, of course, for the point of illustration. But it's a fun conversation to show them the before after. Sometimes we show them the before, but we should show them the before after halfway through so they can see this and go, dang. Because yeah, it's a mess. It's not the way it's supposed to be.
Sure. On the hygiene side, absolutely. But even on the clinical side, with doctors capturing before, during, and after photos on every patient. I mean, the goal is to instill value, create confidence with patients. And with that before, during, and after, they're now right in the process, co-diagnosing. They're no longer being told what needs to be done. They're being shown what needs to be done. So they're right there having that conversation with you, doctor, directly, and agreeing to treatment together.
How often did your dad or your mom tell you something you should do? And how often did you listen to it?
Most people don't like to be told.
No, we don't like to
do.
ever be told
That's
what
right.
to do. But if we can get the patient engaged in the conversation to where they own the diagnosis themselves, it's a complete game changer for them. And this allows us to do it. If you pull up an image and show that crack and go, what do you think we should do? Odds are they're going to look at you and go, man, I don't know. You tell me, you're the doctor. And that's the exact response I want, because now they hand it to us. The before, during, and after, here's what's cool about that. Imagine you get someone who's a little science dork like me, and you take that before, during, and after, and you put your URL on the bottom of it, and you send it home with a patient. Don't print it in black and white on cheap paper, by the way. Send it home with a patient. Now they have the ability to walk out going, dude, this is kind of cool. I can actually see all the way down in my tooth. Look at this thing. It's amazing. And similarly, this blew me away. I went into this office this one time that did not use their cameras. This is one of our clients, I'm embarrassed to admit. So I walk in there, and I happen to have a distributor rep with me, and I walk in there, and I show him the camera, and I'm showing him how to use it. I was doing his job. And all of a sudden, I hand it to the dentist, and I hand it to one of the employees. And you know what they started doing in this office? They started looking in their own mouth going, wow. They had never looked in their own mouth. They've seen this stuff because they use it with their patients. Obviously not enough. But they'd never taken the time to look in their own mouth. So next thing you know, this assistant's looking through her mouth going, oh my Lord, look at that. You want to get a patient engaged, hand them the camera, let them stick it in their own mouth. And they can look around, go for a tour, so don't let them drop it. But it's incredible to see how we can get that engagement with them, and why not have them be a part of the process? It's only going to help their buy-in and help transform your practice.
Nothing more powerful than a personal testimonial. So for each person in the office, having photos taken in their own mouth and being able to share with the patient what they saw, that we've heard time and time again that doctors and hygienists can see things more so than they can even see with their loupes.
I believe it.
Literally see things with an Intra Oral camera that they cannot see through their loupes. Wow, how powerful is that?
Well, that tooth is blown up at least 12 times. I've never seen a doctor wearing 12 times magnification. I mean, it's taken up the entire screen. It's in focus. It's crystal clear, sharp, HD. Yeah, it's amazing, amazing stuff. Look at that stuff. It just keeps blowing up. It doesn't get blurry. Man, that thing's going to eat us in a second if it gets any bigger. So it's awesome to see how clear these things can be. I mean, you look in the distal of that tooth, you can see where the decay is coming right out. That's a wide open margin on that thing. Can you see that with loupes? Sure. Is it that big? I doubt it. So it's awesome. It's just a wonderful, wonderful tool that I find is underutilized, and I'm certain if you were to use it 12 and 2, 12 images, 2 minutes. And for any of our clients watching this show, we'll throw up a URL for their company. If you do not happen to know who your local representation is for Digital Doc, have them in. I don't care if you have a different camera in hygiene. Have the Digital Doc rep come in and show you how to take 12 images in 2 minutes. And something tells me you're going to put a camera in every single room. If you have a camera in every single room, call the company you bought the camera from. If you have one camera and you don't have cameras in every single room, I'd be willing to bet the Digital Doc rep will come in and train you how to use that one camera and get you some others that will give you images just like that.
Compliance is big as well. So once we teach the 12 and 2 system, if we're having anywhere that there's not having the photos taken, the 12 and 2 images, compliance challenges whatsoever. Something very quick, very easy. If you don't see images on the screen when you go to check a hygienist, go to check their room, hey, just real nice, I'll be in as soon as images are on the screen. And just don't check the patient.
So for all of you hygienists watching out there, it's a subtle hint. Please take images, put them up, and let the patient stare at that image through the entire appointment until the doctor comes in for the exam. Because I'm certain they're going to look at that going, can you just get rid of that thing? Yes, I can. When would you like to schedule? You mean get rid of the image on the screen? No, I can't. It's stuck. I don't know what's wrong. Have some fun. Have some fun with it. Any concluding thoughts for anybody out there who is trying to figure out how to use their camera more effectively and efficiently?
This 12 and 2 is powerful. Again, it's the number of images taken is directly related to your increase in production. It's powerful, it's quick, it's easy. I mean, 2 minutes literally is 10 seconds per image. So there are online videos that you can watch. On our website, you can find them, digi-doc.com/videos. So you can watch those videos, and even if you are using another Intra Oral camera, you can look at those videos and find some pretty good techniques to use in your own office to help you with maybe what camera that you are using. Very helpful.
You know, the beauty for me about this entire company, their entire company's attitude and philosophy is it doesn't matter what camera you've got. They'll come out there, they're going to help train you, they're going to help show you how to use it. And through that increase in effectiveness, I know it's going to happen. You're going to want more cameras in your office because the more they're readily available at your hand, right next to the handpiece, the more likely you are to use them. If you got to go find the camera, there's already a problem. You know, I was in an office in Arizona this one time, and I brought up cameras, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we use it all the time." I said, "Great, where is it?" Took him a second to find it. So if you have to ask your team where the camera is, we have an issue. So I appreciate you guys all being here. Can't wait to see you next week. Brett, thank you so much for coming on in.
Absolutely.
8 o'clock Mountain, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. Until then, have a wonderful day. What if you could have the practice of your dreams? What's holding you back? Imagine a life where you have everything you ever wanted.